Not only is Snow White a box office disaster, but it also holds a disastrous press tour being handled by Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, and the many executives behind this actual movie. We know that the stars of the film, like Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot, there's a lot of drama going on between those two actresses, and we have a lot to discuss here today when it comes to the overall backlash related to Snow White, the box office situation for this movie, and just how the drama between both Rachel and Gal is only making things a whole lot worse. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So one thing about Snow White 2025 is that we already know that it is losing millions upon millions of dollars for obvious reasons and for valid reasons, mind you. We know that the general public have spoken. They are really just speaking their mind. They are coming out with their opinions finally about exactly what they think about this movie, about why they are not seeing the film, essentially, by the Disney company, because people are just fed up with the typical messaging, the typical Disney agenda, the overall ideology that has been shoehorned into many different brands by the Disney company for multiple years now. And one thing in particular has a lot to do with the Rachel and Gal Gadot drama, and exactly what's going on over there, and how it also involves Good Morning America. Let's discuss, shall we? Now, we already know that Disney is trying to go into damage control over this movie as much as possible. They want to make sure that they can water down the backlash in whatever way that they can, right? Whatever way that they can do to help the movie, they're going to do that. And basically, well, they're failing miserably at this point, and the drama between both Rachel and Gal, it's not helping. It's not making things better at all. Let's jump into this. Now, with the Walt Disney Company already heading into damage control over Snow White, one major development going on now involves more to do with Rachel Zegler's backlash and the drama that surrounds the film. A crucial update to the Rachel Zegler drama recently created more issues than good for the Snow White marketing campaign. It turns out that Rachel recently had yet another dramatic moment with Gal Gadot behind the scenes and in the public eye. Now, it turns out that both Rachel and Gal were planned to sing together on the Good Morning America show, which is run by ABC, hence owned by the Walt Disney Company. Just a little tip there. This was best described to be Disney's final chance to create a singing session between the two actresses to actually dress up as the characters, singing and symbolizing both good and evil for the characters Snow White and the Evil Queen. Now, one shocking twist here is that Zegler was the one that created the issues where Gal was trying to be the bigger person by accepting finally to sing with Rachel Zegler on the set of GMA. The surprising development here is that the performance was all good to go until Rachel Zegler suddenly decided to demand Disney to sing solo and to not associate herself with Gal Gadot. Now, Rachel reportedly had very intense arguments with her agent and manager, and even went as far to name-call Gal Gadot toward the Disney executives over her political beliefs and her support for Israel. The GMA performance was instantly called off by the Disney company just 24 hours before the performance was supposed to take place, and that Zegler put her foot down that she will only, of course, appear on GMA unless Gal Gadot backs out of the session. Hence why only Rachel Zegler was seen on GMA just the other morning singing a song. Now, tons of funds were also wasted by the Disney company since they were going to actually put off a very special show for both Zegler and Gal Gadot as both Snow White and the Evil Queen dressed up as those characters that involved many backup, of course, background dancers as well and singers, with expensive set designs and a very pricey wardrobe, mind you, for the performers that were going to actually take part in this overall performance between both Gal and Rachel. Now, after Gal tried to call a truce, essentially with Rachel Zegler, Rachel backstabbed Gal Gadot in the back by forcing Disney to boot Gal from that performance. This is ultimately why Gal is holding a growing grudge with the Disney company the past couple of days, to a greater level since they caved to Rachel's demands. Now, guys, before I move on, let me just say one thing about that. It just goes to show you how untrustworthy Disney really is when it comes to some of the actresses that are more loyal, that are more professional, that are more, level-minded, right? Level-headed, I should say, that have a better mind. And interestingly enough, yet again, we have Rachel Zegler, who outright rejected a truce between the whole drama between Rachel and Gal and the issues going on there with their politics and their political beliefs, etc., etc. And the fact that you have someone like Gal, who's trying to be the bigger person in all of this, and saying, alright, let's just, put all of our differences aside, let's just do a singing session, let's do a performance together and call it a day. And even that Rachel Zegler could not put up with, to the point that she had to boot her from that actual performance just 24 hours before this was supposed to take place. And that's why you only had her singing solo on GMA just the other day. Now again, we know that a lot of funds were poured into this performance on GMA. It was a Disney-dedicated performance because, obviously, we know that ABC is run by Disney. They own the program. That's not a big shocker there. But the fact that they were going to do something very involved between both Gal and Rachel to promote Snow White, it really just goes to show you how much money is being wasted on this press tour. And as I pointed out in the intro, that it's not just a box office disaster. The press tour and the marketing campaign is an actual disaster. It truly is. This is by far one of the worst press tours that we have ever seen by the Disney company. I would definitely say beyond The Acolyte, because how unexpected it really is and how you have drama between the two main lead actresses. But I digress. This is where it picks up even worse. Now, Gal reportedly already, of course, feels left out of the press tour, where Rachel is the only one obtaining all the singing sessions, where Gal actually rehearsed for her GMA performance for a total of 2 days to prepare. All of that time was wasted on Gal's part, and it's why Gal Gadot is now calling for Disney to make some changes immediately, or else she is not willing to do any further interviews for them anymore while the film is in theaters. Already, Disney data analysts are projecting that this movie may only be in the majority of theaters for a total of 3 weeks maximum, with the way things are going right now for the box office. So again, this goes to show you that Disney just has no clue what they're doing. They have no clue how to handle a backlash as large as this when it comes to Snow White. And it's exactly why you have a lot of problems going into this movie. The fact that you have Rachel Zegler calling the shots and convincing Disney, or causing Disney to cave into her demands, it really just goes to show you exactly how weak and how, unorganized Disney truly is when it comes to the people that they hire, when it comes to how easily, intimidated, quite frankly, they seem to come across as by falling into Rachel Zegler's demands. What they should have done is that they should have just said, you know what, no ifs, ands, or buts, you're singing with Gal Gadot. And that's all there is to it. That's how it really should have been. And Bob Iger just wasn't having it. I mean, he just said, alright Gal, you're off the table here, you're off the actual set, it's only Rachel Zegler singing for today on GMA. So this is exactly why the overall drama between Rachel and Gal, I don't believe it's going to stop. I don't believe it's going to really end anytime soon until Snow White is all done and it's out of theaters and it's a thing of the past and the backlash is pretty much no longer talked about. And it's only up until then that the drama between these two is going to come to an official close. But overall, I would like to hear what everyone has to say about all of this below in the comments. Everything related to Snow White, Gal Gadot, Rachel Zegler, etc. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.